So if you can make it through this lesson, I'm going to show you how you can play some lines on the guitar just with a pentatonic scale that sound something like this. Check it out. So it's nothing fancy, I'd say, but all I'm doing in that intro is playing an exaggerated version of a few positions of the E major pentatonic scale. And even though I played it in E, this is going to be applicable to any key on the guitar. So in this lesson, we're going to dive into a couple pentatonic shapes that you can use in any key to really expand your repertoire of what you play with the pentatonic scale. My name's Jesse Glick. This is a 5-Minute Monday. Let's get into it. So I'm going to try to make this lesson as easy as possible. We're just going to stick with one key and one chord today, but by the end I'll show you how you can change it up to other keys. So we're going to stick with the key of E major. Now, sometimes people hear the word major pentatonic scale and they get confused because typically on the guitar you learn your minor pentatonic scale first, usually the A minor pentatonic, which looks like this. So if you didn't know, that shape is movable to anywhere on the guitar. So I could play that exact distance of frets anywhere and it's still going to be a version of the pentatonic scale. Depending on where I play it is going to tell me what key it is. So if first things first, if we just want to play a major pentatonic scale for any key, but in this case E, all we need to do is find our root note on the low E string. So in this case it's E right here. And if we take that 3 frets back and we play that shape I played earlier, that's going to be the E major pentatonic scale. Yeah, it's the same as the C sharp minor pentatonic, but that's not important for this lesson. And you might be watching at this point being like, yeah, I know that shape. I know how to play some cool licks here, maybe something like this. But that's not the point of this lesson. The point is to use that scale shape as an anchor to get another version of the pentatonic scale behind that one and in front of it. So let me show you what I mean. If this is our anchor point, so starting on fret number 9, and we have this shape, that means there's a pentatonic scale right behind it. So I'm just going to play you the shape of it and see if you can get that under your fingers. So one thing you might have noticed is every note that I played on this side of the scale was connected to this original scale shape. So essentially, if this note is in this box, it's also going to be in the scale behind it. So one more time, here's our first shape. If we want the shape behind it, this is what that looks like. And if we wanted to connect them, we could do something like this. All right, so far, nothing too crazy, just maybe a new shape that you need to get under your fingers. So we just did a scale shape that was behind, meaning this way, from the pentatonic scale shape that we did. Now let's see if we can find one this way. So similarly, if this is our starting scale here, every note that we play on this side of the scale, that's going to be the first note in our next scale pattern. So this one starts on our root note. So we're the key of E, here's our root. This is what the scale looks like. So now we have 3 different scale shapes that are all the same scales, all the same notes. They're just different shapes and places to play them on the guitar. So I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you guys so much. Just a year of doing this, I hit 30,000 subscribers. And as you can see, I've been doing this from my living room, which means I set this stuff up every single week, make a video, record it, and edit it just for you guys. And it's because you're watching, so I really appreciate it. That being said, if you're new around here, please hit subscribe so I can get in my own studio and I don't have to set up and break this stuff down every single week and make a lot better content in the future. Anyways, let's get back to the video. So here's what you can do to exercise and cycle through all 3 of them. We're just going to start with the middle one, so our original scale shape. We're going to play it, then play the scale behind it. Then we're gonna play it and play the scale in front of it. So that would look like this. Now we're going behind. And then in front. So now let's take a look at how we can do this in other keys. Remember, the original scale shape we started was this. So if we use that as our anchor point for any key, the note that I play with my pinky, that second note of the scale, that's going to delineate what major scale we're playing. So if I wanted to do this for like B major, let's say, I'm going to put B under my pinky and then play that scale. So that's going to be B major, and then I'll play that same scale shape right behind it. And then in front of it as well. All right, so if you want to practice this, once you get these shapes under your fingers, I recommend just finding a song in the key of E major. Just Google E major, find a song in that key, and just start cycling these notes through it. There's no rhyme or reason to it, no rhythm yet. Just get comfortable cycling through the notes. And then try your best to jump through different scale shapes without going all the way across. So here's what I mean. If I start in that middle shape, now I'm halfway through the scale, maybe I'll jump back to the other one. And then back forward. And then finally jump to the next scale shape. So if you do this naturally over time, by mixing some like rhythmic patterns with your right hand, you can start building lines with the same pentatonic scale in a few different shapes. And that's how you can start creating more like vocal melodic stuff that, you know, more proficient guitar players play. You know, it gets to a point where you can't just do this all day. Like, we've all heard that a million times. A lot of guitar players have heard that. A lot of listeners have heard that. But if you start mixing the scale shapes, you know, that's how we can start getting some more interesting lines that actually feel and sound improvised. So I'm doing these 5-minute Monday lessons every single Monday totally for free. If you want to support me or the channel, or you like the video, hit the subscribe button. It's the easiest thing you can do to help me out. For now though, my name's Jesse Glick. That was a 5-minute Monday. I'll see you in the next one.